Welcome to Junior Mining Insights. I'm Ryan Long, and joining me today is Patrick Cheetham, Executive Chairman of AIM-listed Tertiary Minerals. Thanks for joining us today, Patrick.
Well, thanks, Ryan. Thanks for giving us the opportunity.
Now, Patrick, you have just had some exciting news from your recent drill program at the Mushima North Copper Project, which is located in Zambia. Can you give us an update?
For sure. So just a little bit of background perhaps first. The Mushima North project is one of a number of projects we hold in Zambia, and it's located in the western part, in what's probably best described as a frontier exploration area. It's an area that's sort of been overlooked because of its location in Zambia historically, but is now an area of very active exploration. And we're just about 25 k's to the east of a copper mine that operated previously, which was one of the richest copper mines in Zambia, called Kalengwa. And the mine is actually reopening there. So there's really a lot of activity going on. And we've had this project for perhaps a couple of years now. And we started off really work by doing a very detailed targeting exercise based on data that we obtained from First Quantum Minerals and previous explorers. And we identified a number of targets, but we chose two projects or two target areas to follow up on last year. And that was target A1 and target C1, which we reference in our latest news release. And so in 2023, we carried out detailed soil sampling on these target areas to generate anomalies. And the drill program was basically this year to follow up on those soil anomalies. So it was the first drill program on this project. And, we're very excited because what we did, we hit widespread copper zinc mineralization in this first program. We focused on the A1 target, and we tested this with three very widely spaced traverses. The anomaly is 3.5 kilometers long. So it's a very large anomaly, and we've really only just started work on this in a sense, but it is our first program. But we on the first traverse that we drilled, three of our holes, and these were 100-meter spaced holes, very wide spaced holes. Three of those holes intersected significant widths of copper and zinc mineralization. So we were working using modern technology, doing real-time analysis of the drill samples, and that allowed us to go straight back and infill during the same program. So we infilled over an area about 350 meters wide with a total of 7 holes at 50-meter spacing. And the majority of those holes ended in mineralization. The mineralization in each hole was very wide, 50, 60 meter wide intersections. So, really very, very, very exciting because, we have only just scratched the surface here.
Thanks, Patrick. You mentioned there that the holes ended in mineralization. If each of these holes still contains mineralization, why don't you just keep drilling deeper at these holes?
Okay, that's a good question. The nature of this exploration program was reconnaissance drilling of a large area, and so the rig that we were using was a rig that could do that cost effectively, but it does have depth limitations. So in most cases where we ended in mineralization, it was due to the depth limitation of the drill rig.
And some investors have mentioned that the grades you've received from this drill program perhaps are on the low side and might not be economic. What do you have to say to that?
Yeah, I think investors that say that I think are missing the bigger picture here, and I think the market reaction to the news is unjustified. This is, as I say, very much an initial program. The process of mineral exploration and discovery is, it is a process. It's not kind of a single event. So, when you're doing exploration, it is a process whereby you learn from what you find out in early programs. So it's very rare that an ore body is discovered in a first program. But the fact that we have such a large area of mineralization with thick intervals ending in mineralization it's very exciting. If we go deeper, we go further along strike, then I think we're likely to find something which is significantly better, something which is the cause of all this smoke. So, at the moment, we have only covered about 170-meter strike length of the right part of this anomaly, which is 3.5 kilometers long. So, when we went through this process of doing real-time analysis of our drill samples, we were able to modify the program. And the last hole that we did was a step out from the first traverse, 170 meters, and that intersected the best grades of the whole program. So, you learn as you do more work, and, hopefully you can use the information you get as vectors into higher grade mineralization. And that's what we need to do next. But we would have carried on drilling beyond that hole if it were not for the fact that we were at the end of the wet season. The end of the dry season. But this being quite a remote area, we had to make a number of river crossings to get here. And in the wet season, that would become impassable. So we didn't want to end up with a drill rig stuck on the wrong side of a river and paying, thousands of dollars a day for the drill rig doing nothing till May next year. So
given that you're coming into the wet season now, what's next for the project? Will you be doing some further analysis? Will you be doing anything remotely? Or are you, as soon as the wet season is driving straight back in?
So we've just started a ground magnetic survey, which will be done fairly quickly. And the idea of that is to give us more structural information and more stratigraphic information, and help us to focus, the next drill program. We are sending selected samples off to a commercial laboratory for check analysis. We do have a lot of confidence in the data that we've released because we've done a lot of quality control on those samples. But it's always good to get that definitive check analysis. And it also allows us to analyze for precious metals as well. That's not something that we can do with the portable X-ray analyzer that we use in the field. That gives us good copper results, zinc results, but we can't do precious metals reliably with that machine. So we can check the precious metal contents in the lab, and we do have some exciting indicator elements for precious metals in the geochemical analysis that we have. So we're anxious to see what comes out of those precious metal analyses as well, because we do see gold associated with copper in some deposits in Zambia.
And we could see those results before the end of the year, Patrick, or are we expecting more?
Realistically, I think it's going to, it could be before the end of the year, but it may end up in January. The samples have to go, they go out of Zambia to South Africa for analysis. It depends on the queues at the lab, but hopefully before the end of the year, but not guaranteed.
And based on everything and the timelines you have so far, do you see yourselves back on the ground at Mushima North early next year, mid next year? When do you expect that to occur?
Yeah, absolutely. The dry season start is typically April, May. And we would be aiming to be out on site just as soon as the ground dries up enough to be confident that we can get back on site. So, we'd hope to have a full season working at Mushima North next year.
Very good, very good. And Tertiary's got a portfolio of other projects. What other developments are you expecting at those in the coming months?
Yeah, so it's been a pretty active back end of the dry season for us. So, we, as people will be aware, we have drilling ongoing at Konkola West. That's being funded by our joint venture partner, Cobalt Metals. It's a very deep drill program aiming to find deep extensions of the major Konkola ore body. There've been a few technical issues which we mentioned in our news releases already, but things are back on track in the drilling. We're very excited to see what comes out of that. Any discovery there will be extremely significant. So we're looking forward to further updates from Cobalt. And we also have drilling planned to start in mid-November at our Brunton Pass project in Nevada. So that'll, again, a first drill program testing for copper and precious metal mineralization. Yes, we also have a joint venture on our Mukai project now. In August, we announced a joint venture with First Quantum Minerals. First Quantum have wasted no time in preparing for exploration at Mukai, and we hope to say more about that soon.
Perfect. So, Friela drill programs, Friela projects, exciting times for Tertiary.
Yeah, it's we feel the best is yet to come from these projects.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time, Patrick Cheetham, Executive Chairman of AIM-listed Tertiary Minerals.